Hello guys, it's ARC Exotics here and we're back with another video. Now, a few things before we get into it. Basically, if you look on my YouTube channel, I haven't actually uploaded in about 4 weeks. Normally at least once a week, but yeah, this is the longest I've gone without uploading a YouTube video. Just because numerous things, boring stuff basically like work, family stuff, blah blah blah. But I thought I'm not going to try and force one out for you guys to watch if it's not sort of up to standard, like to the normal stuff. So I thought I'm not going to try and sort of pressure myself to do one unless I want to do one, just because I've simply not had the time. So yeah, we've got the time today. I've just finished work, I've cleaned out some of the animals, blah blah blah, and what we're going to be doing is basically doing a full rundown of, just in this room, all of our reptiles, well, all of our animals for that sake. You'll find out why shortly. But all of our animals and how much they each cost, not the setups or the lighting or the electric or the feeding, just the actual animal itself, nothing else at all. And then we're going to be breaking it down, why they cost that, because it might be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and where I got them from. But most of my animals are either delivered to me or I get them locally. But yeah, like I say, I'm not going to sort of ramble on too much about it. We'll just talk about it and break it down, and other than that, that is basically what we're going to be doing. So if you want to stay tuned and see how much we've paid for all of our animals in this room, then keep watching and find out. Let's go. Also, before we get into the video, I haven't worn this shirt in a while, but I probably might have worn it last video, not sure. But I just forgot how nice, when I'm looking back on the screen at myself, how nice the top looks, and obviously the back of it as well, if you can see it. Kind of. But yeah, this top, obviously, as you guys know, is from Merch Print Yorkshire, so get and check them out down below. I'll leave the links, or I'll put a little photo up here or here. But yeah, check these tops out, and if you want one, also let me know, because I can get them to make it for you and send it out to you. So let's go. So coming over here to this guy, it's quite dark in this corner, here we go. Coming over here to this guy, you might have not seen him in a while, and yes, he's got big. Look how big he's got, and look at his shell. And he actually needs a bath, which we might do this video, but we'll see. But yeah, so this is little Gussie. Now, little Gussie is a leopard tortoise. We have just the one of them, and he was bought local to us, but privately. So he was basically bred through a couple that had a breeding pair, and they've had him since they were a little kid. Always had them, and obviously when they got older and moved out and got their own place, they took the tortoises with them, and all of a sudden they found out that they'd managed to breed, and all of a sudden there was loads of little baby tortoises. So we got him, I think we got him for £150, but in pet shops they go for about that anyway. They go for about, sort of, I've seen them from anywhere from £150 to £190. But yeah, we got him for £150, and as you can see as well, he's very very cute. And there's a lot of misinformation on this kind of tortoise, just because you don't often see him, or if you do, people just assume they're like other tortoises and they hibernate and they eat veg and blah blah blah. But that is for another video. But yeah, this is little Gussie. He was from a private breeder and he cost us £150. Now, coming over here, this is a lot of your guys' favourites. This is our Pac-Man Frog. He's called Fredo, and as you can tell, he's pretty cute. And we finally found a good substrate for him, but this is not about that. But yeah, we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, just Fredo himself. No tank, no equipment. We bought him when he was absolutely tiny, and he cost us £30. So yeah, that's Fredo. And to be fair, if I had the room, I would get another probably 10 of them in all different colours, because I think they are really cool. And this is little Fredo eating some locusts. Well, I was about to say hopefully, but yeah, he loves his locusts. As you can see, tucks into him. But yeah, not too much on him. £30, really cool. Eats locusts, eats pinkies. So yeah, pretty interesting thing to have. and I think everyone could have one in their collection. So far it's £30 for the Pac-Man Frog and £150 for the leopard tortoise. So together that is £180. I just had a little brain dead moment there. So yeah, Pac-Man Frog, leopard tortoise, £180. So next up is Rolo. Now you're never going to be able to see him in here because, well, it's just hard to spot crested geckos all the time. He's normally behind there, or he's in this little willow thing, but you're basically not going to see him, so we'll talk about him over here. So with Rolo, a lot of you know that he is a rescue crested gecko. So basically we didn't have to pay anything for him, but when we went to the pet shop that he got abandoned at, they basically didn't have the time to sort of watch him and care for him and sort of bring him back up to health. So basically they didn't really want him. So I said I'd have him, but obviously I'd need a setup, and they basically said to me, we'll do a price for the whole setup and we'll basically have the gecko for free. So that worked for me, but a lot of you will say, oh, pet shops just say that to get you to sort of spend money, but I know this pet shop well. I worked there for a little bit. I trusted people, and it was a genuine, someone bought it in who overbred it and just didn't really want it. So yeah, our Rolo, our crested gecko, he only cost £40, but that was with a tool Exoterra, brand new, the light, substrate, leaves, you know, literally everything, full setup, £40, and I have no idea how old he is either, which is a little of a bummer. But he's doing well, he's eating, he's gaining weight on the weight chart there, so he's doing everything he should. So with him, which was 40, the leopard tortoise, which was 150, and the Pac-Man Frog at 30, that brings us somewhere around 220, I think. So other than that, let's get on with the others. Now I know, before anyone does say, yes, this tank does need a bit of a trim. Like I said, I've been busy with work, and it's not unhealthy or bad for the animal, but yeah, a lot of the plants, a few of them at the front are just dying off from the crickets eating them, the little crickets, which I always see eating them, and yeah, basically just overgrown, so that needs a bit of a tidy up at the back there, as you can see. But basically in here is our lined day geckos. Now we had these together as a pair, but basically they ended up fighting. So we have Candy, the female, there, and then we have Kane, the male, over in that one, who's very, very shy. Now back to this one, because this is the more sort of appealing one out of the two at the minute. They cost me £60 each, and I also had to pay for a courier to deliver them to my house, but obviously that is not included for the price of the animal. But just the animal alone, they were 60 each, so obviously that works out at 120. And there's some of the isopods, just, oh, the reflection's killing me. Some of the isopods just sneaking away. There we go. So yeah, I have this one in here, which cost me 60, and I had the other one over there, which was also 60. But with them guys, I kind of wanted them in the same tank to save room and obviously for them to breed, but it didn't turn out like that, and I'm not one to just get rid of my pets. So basically, because they didn't work out as a breeding pair, yes, I was a little bit annoyed, and I definitely did give them enough time to try and sort of work through it. When they got brought to me from the courier, they were in separate tubs, and then they obviously met again going into that tank, so it could have been that, it could have been anything really. It's heavily planted, as you can just see over my shoulder, so I don't really know what caused it. But basically, yeah, they are now separate, and they will be for the rest of their lives. I'm not going to try and introduce them back because it's too difficult to try and recatch one if they're fighting, so they're going to be like that forever. And basically, yeah, a little bit of a bummer because I wanted them together, and also there could have been another tank potentially gone there, but never mind, you know, it's happened. So obviously at the minute we're at 220, and they cost me 120. So that 120 on top of that would be about £340. So at the minute it's £340, and we have the Pac-Man Frog at 30, the leopard tortoise at 150. What else did we say after that? Crested gecko at 40, and the line day geckos at £60 each. So next on the list of this room we have 3 morning geckos. Now I've seen a few of these sort of in other pet shops, and believe it or not, they seem really expensive. Not for what they are, saying they're not very good, but they are pretty cool. Well, very cool, I think. But £40 seems like a lot of money for not a lot of lizard, if that makes sense. But I guess each to their own. So basically, they were about £40 in a pet shop, but it was an expensive pet shop, and I have got chains, and I've known for them to be quite expensive, especially for their fish. But again, these were brought from a private breeder, literally the road next to mine. And I also got my Gargle Gecko off him as well. But I bought 3 of them. I bought 2 adults and 1 baby, and they were all £10 each. So for the 3 of them, that would have been £30. Now with the 2 adults, I've got them in an Exoterra over there. But with the little baby, because I didn't want him to escape through the vents and everything else, and the slit in the glass, I've basically got him in a little DIY Mantis tub. Now if you want to know how to make one of these, I do have a video linked, so just watch that. But you can see him just there. Now he won't be far off moving into the bigger tank, but as you can see, just there, he's just chilling against the glass. He's getting quite big. Well, glass, plastic, but yeah, he's getting quite big. He's in a good sized tub. You know, I'm not going to tip it too much, but you can see there, he's in a good sized tub. And well, yeah, he's pretty cool. Like I say, these are really inexpensive to keep, really inexpensive to house, and once you've bought them, they're just going to multiply. So we've already got probably about 8 eggs now. So yeah, we should have a lot more of these little guys going into here. But when we move him out, more can go in here, and then just keep going and keep going. And then obviously if we do have too many, we'll get to a point where we sell a few off, and have had a lot of interest as well. So if you do want some and you are quite local, or you want to pay for shipping, then let me know. But yeah, this little guy and 2 others come to £30 in total. I will still show you the other 2 in the Exoterra if we can see him, but you don't really see him very well. There's this guy, you can see quite well there. Keep seeing my head. But yeah, so with basically, I've got a list here. So with the Pac-Man Frog, the Morning Geckos, Crested Gecko, Lion Day Geckos, Leopard Tortoise, that all comes to £370. So I mean, it depends if you like animals. I think that's good. But if you don't like animals and you're thinking you just spent £370 on a couple of lizards and a tortoise, then you're crazy. But you wouldn't be watching this video if not. So yeah, I think that's a good deal. But we're going to get on to some of the other stuff now, which is a little bit more expensive. Well, 2 of them. The other stuff are not so expensive, but let's see. And just before we move on to the next animal, I said at the start of the sort of morning gecko section that there's not a lot of lizard for the money, but I keep finding myself wanting to explain more things about them to you. So that kind of says how cool they are in itself. But I did see a video on Instagram the other day where they had a little tub like this with a baby, and they were getting it out of the tub and his tail dropped, and I didn't actually know their tails could drop. So now I know that. It kind of scares me a little bit, because we actually handle the little one, just because cleaning is much easier to just get him out. But yeah, their tails can actually fall off, and I saw it and it was a clean fall. It didn't get caught in nothing or whatever. I saw it on Instagram. But yeah, their tails drop off. So if you didn't know that, you do now. So now we're going to get on to the next thing. So moving on to the next one, the reason I said animals and not reptiles is because we now own a furry animal again. Now, I had a lot of Syrian hamsters in the past, and my nephew got one, and he kind of, well, they're nocturnal, they come out at night, and he's a little kid that goes to bed early in the evening, so obviously that makes sense that he never saw him, and he got easily bored of him. So because he got easily bored of him, he decided to let me babysit him while he went away on holiday, and he never come back for him. So basically we've now got ourselves a little Syrian hamster, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I don't want to disturb him. I've just cleaned him out. Down there, you can see the black and white. But before anyone says it, oh, if I focus, before anyone says it, anytime today would be nice. Apparently not, no, okay. There we go. yeah, so basically that is the Syrian hamster, and like I said, well, like I tried to say earlier, before anyone mentions it, no, I'm not going to try and feed him to my snake. He is kept completely different and the other side of the house, so the snake can't smell him or have any scent of him. I mean, he might have a little bit, but it's the best I could do with what I've got. But he's in a complete different room and quite far away. So no, he will not be getting live fed to my python, and it's going to stay that way. I like Syrian hamsters, I think they've got a lot of personality, and he's quite cute to be fair, and believe it or not, if you want to know his name, King Louis. So if you know what that's off, then yeah, apparently you should. A lot of kids know what that's off, but yeah, that's King Louis. I've no idea why it's called King Louis. I think it's a girl, so that don't really make sense. But yeah, meet King Louis, our pet hamster, even though you can't see him. And just as I was putting him away, he's come out to see us. Well, the time I got the camera out, he ran back. But oh, there we go. We got a little snippet of him. That is King Louis's first ever feature on the channel. So yeah, thanks King Louis. Now, when I was younger, I did have Syrian hamsters, obviously all housed separate, but I had numerous. So Syrian hamsters is how I'd refer to it as. But that is just the starter pets at home kit that you basically get when you buy one. Now I don't really like that, so what we're going to do is try and get him a different tank with levels. Like my old one used to have 3 levels or 4 levels. Used to have kind of 2 different water bowls, and yeah, used to have a lot of stuff, 3 different food bowls. So what we're going to be doing is upgrading King Louis. I hate saying that. King Louis's tank. But yeah, I'm not really sure sort of what to go for, but I kind of do like the plastic dome over the top of his tank, just because it stops him biting on the bars. But yeah, like I say, he's going to be doing upgrades soon. Obviously this isn't a furry YouTube channel, it's more reptile based and amphibian, but he's now part of the ARC family, so you're going to have to see updates from him and hear from him. So I'm afraid you're going to have to get used to him. So with everything, including King Louis, I'm trying to say the name now, with everything and the hamster is still 370, because that hamster with the setup didn't cost me a penny, so that is still a total of 370 at the minute. So I just tried to find the yellow striped Gargle Gecko and I can't see him nowhere. I've moved some of the stuff up there, looked behind the tank in case you got through the back there. Under there, in there, I just don't know where he is, but I'm confident he's in there because I saw him last night. But we might have to get him out a little bit later on in the video, maybe tonight. But yeah, that's the Gargoyle Gecko, but we'll break him down a little bit later on. So moving on to our Ants HQ tube, which I told you about previously broke. They've sent me a brand new one, which is below me by my feet, which needs to be installed after this video. But for a little Ants HQ nursery and setup with the ants included, that was meant to be £50, but I got it for a total of 30. So looking at it at your point of view, if you wanted something like this, it would cost around £50 with shipping. Now moving on to our longest mantis we've had so far, the giant Asian mantis, which is Duke. Now again, custom setup for him. He's just there chilling. He's doing really well, like I say, touch wood so far. He cost me £18, and again, he is doing absolutely solid. Moving on here, we've got the giant African, which needs a tank upgrade, which is coming in the post. But yeah, look at him, he's doing good in there. He basically was from the live food hub, and he would cost you around £11, but I got him for free of charge from the live food hub. Great people over there, so be sure to go and check them out. And then again from the live food hub, I got my ghost mantis, who was £7.50. And again, cool little mantis, eats the fruit flies, and he's also in a DIY setup. And last but not least, on the top of the snake vivarium is our curly hair tarantula. He cost me, I think it was £18. So yeah, we've got the ants, the mantises, and the tarantula. So I've just seen the battery light on my camera and it is flashing. So basically everything on this top of the snake vivarium cost £104.50. Starting with the Ants HQ Nursery at £50, the curly haired tarantula at £18, the giant Asian mantis also at £18, the African mantis at £11, and the ghost mantis at £7.50, equaling up to a total of £104, which after that, plus that on to the £370, then we'll work out the total. So from the previous figure of £370 plus the £104, we're not going to work it out like £104.50, just £104. So like I say, the £370 plus onto the £104 gets us to a total of £474. We've still got a couple of more things to do. My battery light is flashing on the camera, so I'm going to charge that up for a little bit, and then we'll continue with the rest of the video and hopefully try and get the Gargle Gecko out tonight, because no idea where he is. But at the minute we're at £474 and we've got a few more things to go, so let's get on with it. So we finally managed to get a few little clips of the yellow striped Gargle Gecko. Obviously at night time, I couldn't find him anywhere during the day, but as you can see, looks absolutely stunning. Now this little guy we bought from a local breeder, the same as our morning geckos, and we paid a total of £200 for this little guy. But when he gets older, his price should rise to about £400 or £500, and as you can see already, his colours are coming out. This is without any light on him. He just looks absolutely stunning. So guys, it's basically been a couple of days later and we have got the footage of the Gargle Gecko, and we've also changed a lot in the reptile room. We've got a new racking system, new shelf, put loads of stuff up, put all the frames behind me and that, but all the stuff over there is going to be featured shortly. So just for now, to end the video, we've got I think a couple of more things, but we're going to start off with the royal python we've got, or ball python, however you want to call it. This guy is a pastel fire heptapod, well, possible heptapod MJ exantic, so he's pretty good morph, pretty decent morph, a lot to sort of pair him with in the future. Gives me a lot of options to sort of go where I want with as well. So we're going to show you his viv and see if he wants to maybe come out or get a little clip of him, or I could even feed him, but yeah, we'll see. Let's go. Now this is the royal python's tank. He's in a vivarium, he's not in a tub or a rack system or setup. He has an overhead heating system just above there. He's got his LED light, some foliage in the corner. He's got his cold hide there, and a water bowl big enough for him to bath, soak in and sort of, you know, go under if he wants to help shedding, anything like that. We've also got the herp husk from Simon Ling on the substrate, which has been nothing but gold at the minute. It's kept the humidity solid. Got the humidity gauge just there near his hide, and he is in the back there. We're going to get him out in a minute, but yeah, he's just hiding away there. Basically, well, I mean, I would say the tub, the vivarium looks a bit plain, but considering most people keep theirs in a tub or a rack, there's actually quite a lot in here. Now there was this big log there that was wedged basically from that corner to there, come in one morning, and he'd knocked it over and the glass lip had actually come out. So that's got to be basically secured in properly so it's nice and tight and safe. So that will be going back in because he loves climbing, he loves the height, he always utilises it, like a lot of people say they don't. But we're going to be getting into him, his morph and his price. And then other than that, just down here with no light on them at the minute, we have the Madagascar hissing cockroaches, as you can see there. This is a custom made vivarium. Basically we've cut up a background, you can't see it without a light very well. Cut up a background, stuck that on, got some tomato in there for them. And there's absolutely loads behind there, and so many babies as well, as you can see up in that far corner. So yeah, basically we've got them and the royal python, and then we just got to cover basically the whole summary of everything else, as in a total price. Now this is our boy here, and as you can see straight away, his colours are absolutely stunning. I'm not going to get too close to him because he will strike for me, but other than that, he's pretty placid. As soon as you get him out of the viv, he's fine. But as you can see, I've probably annoyed him because I've taken the hide off and got a camera pointing in his face. But yeah, as you can see here, patterning on him, really bold, really defiant, really cool colours. You can see the kind of colour blurring in the middle there, fading out a little bit and getting darker there. But yeah, he's absolutely stunning. Really like him. And with the current price of 475 plus the Gargle Gecko of 200, that put us on 675. So we're at 675 as a total, and this guy here cost us £350. So that £350 takes us to 1,025. So at the minute, all of our animals, £1,025. And as you can see by the look of him, I think it is worth every penny because he is absolutely stunning. And then our Madagascans down here, if I zoom out, obviously I'm going to get a little red LED strip light for them just so you can see them, which will look pretty cool. They cost £15, so in total all of our animals cost £1,040. So basically £1,040 for quite a few animals in one room alone is a pretty good price for what we've got, I'd say. But other than that, yeah, that basically covers the video. So we're going to do a little summary, little talk over it, and then that will be the video done. So guys, that is basically a summary of all of our animals in this room alone. So we've had things like the leopard tortoise, the royal python, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches, lion day geckos, morning day geckos, Pac-Man frog, crested gecko, praying mantises, tarantulas, gargle geckos. So yeah, we've had quite a lot featured in here, and it's just over £1,000, 1,040. So that is the total of all of my animals in this room. But we will be doing other sort of areas and other like rooms where we've got a few other animals, but not as many as perhaps here, things like that. But yeah, a lot of people kind of always ask, oh, how much is this, how much is that? But obviously it all depends varying on morphs and other things like features of like sex of male or female, stuff like that. But you guys asked, and that's what I've basically tried to explain the best I could in this video. So if you have enjoyed it and you want to know more breakdown cost videos, so like the full cost of my royal python setup with the heat, the light, everything, breaking it down all the way to the electric bill, then let me know and we can do more breakdown videos with prices and stuff like that. But other than that, that will be it for this video today. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to drop a little like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week for another video. We're going to get back on the normal schedule of uploading. So let's go.